Hi everybody, welcome to SSBtales and also welcome to the Lecturette series where we cover the recently asked Lecturette topics in various SSBs and we try to cover them in 5 to 10 minutes time duration so that you can have enough of content to continuously speak for 3 minutes. So the topic that we have chosen today is South China Sea, which has recently been asked in 14 SSB PRAYAGRAJ, and in today's lecture we are going to first look at the geography of the region. Okay, where does this South China Sea it lies and what is the importance of this region? Okay, see basically what's happening, the South Asian countries, they are fighting for this particular region, that it belongs, certain part of it belongs to certain countries, right? So why the fight is there, right? So there has to be some importance of the region, so we are going to first understand that, and also we are going to look at what is the dispute between the various nations and what are the claims that they are giving, that on what basis they should get to use the South China Sea resources. Okay, we are going to understand and see this South China Sea topic is one such area where not just the native politics but even the global level politics is involved. What do I mean to convey? See, if you look at it, the disputes for land, that particular land belongs to which country, this fight is amongst I think all the countries in the world. But in the South China Sea, the importance of this region is trade wise also it's very high. So we will understand that what is the global level importance, and because of that reason also, even the countries such as USA and Russia, they keep on monitoring the activities that are happening in South China Sea, and also like what is the progress that is happening political wise in that region and how it is going to impact the world. Okay, so we are going to understand in the next in the fourth segment, and ultimately we are going to look at some way forward that can be there to reduce the dispute that is currently it's increasing day by day. Okay, starting off with the geography, first I would request you to please look at the first picture, which is that of a globe, and let's try to locate South China Sea in this particular globe. Okay, so looking at this Pacific Ocean, okay, I hope you all are aware of the direction north, south, east, west, right? So if you look at the western side, okay, so here in this region which I'm highlighting, here is where the South China Sea it lies. So you can say, if you have to say, you can simply say that South China Sea, it is the western arm of the Pacific Ocean. Why? Because it lies in the western side of the Pacific Ocean. Okay, now second picture is the zoomed version of it. Here you can say it is the South China Sea, which is surrounded by the various countries. Okay, you need not to speak that in your lecturette because it will be a lot, but if you have to look at just for the understanding and retaining the information, on the south side you can see China is there, on the east side Vietnam is there, I'm sorry, on the west side Vietnam is there, on east side Philippines is there, and then in southern region we have Malaysia country is there, Brunei is there, and we have Indonesia also, and these are the ones which are involved in this particular dispute. Okay, so this is about this specific region, and if you look at that how it is connecting to the other parts of the country of the world, if you have to look at it, see this below this particular region, Malaysia region, ठीक है, जो ये वाला region है, it is your Strait of Malacca. Okay, it is the Strait of Malacca, and it connects the Indian Ocean, it is the Indian Ocean to your the south, through South China Sea it gets connected to Pacific Ocean. ठीक है, तो Strait of Malacca से it gets the South China Sea it gets connected to the Indian Ocean. Okay, and if you look above, so there is Taiwan you're looking, and beside that is your Strait of Taiwan. So this is your Strait of Taiwan, and it connects your South China Sea above to your East China Sea. Okay, so above Taiwan is your East China Sea, and below is that we have South China Sea, and it's get connected with the help of with the Strait of Taiwan. ठीक है, तो आपके ये दो मेन स्ट्रेट्स हैं यहाँ पे which connects to the different part of the world or the different water bodies. Okay, so this is the brief that we have understood. Now let's talk about what is the importance of this particular region, and then we will move ahead and understand. Okay, and if you have to, basically we have to understand whatever be the disputes that are going on, these are the territorial disputes for the islands that exist in the South Asia region. For example, this is a Paracel Island, so these are your archipelago. जैसे आपका Spratly Island है, archipelago is what, when various small islands they form a group, so they all together they are known as archipelago. Okay, so Spratly Island, so this archipelago group we have Paracel Island, and there is also one shoal, Scarborough shore. Okay, shoal that is also there, and major disputes are over these three parts. Two are island, and this is basically your reef. Okay, तो इन तीन में आपका dispute है. In further slides I will tell you what is the dispute and who are fighting among whom and why they are fighting, but currently let's just go step by step. Okay, so the main dispute is over the island that exists in this region, the reef, and even the for the water that exists in that particular region. Okay, why is it this particular region important? Because it has a lot of natural resources. This particular sea, it is abundant in natural resources. If we talk about the species of fishes, the variety of fishes that exist, it is, you can say, it is the highest in the world. Okay, and because of that reason, you can understand, especially in Southeast Asia countries, if you look at it, these are pretty much dependent for the food security on the seafood only, right? For example, here in India we do consume like plants we consume, right? And then we have other animal husbandry, we have a proper setup, right? But their maximum consumption is from the seafood only, right? So definitely you can understand that whoever will have dominance in South China Sea, they can first of all extract the seafood, they can have the food security in their own country, and along with that they can even then export the surplus food that is being captured, and that will help them to improve the GDP of the country, right? So first thing is this. Another thing is it's been said that there is huge oil and natural gas reserve that exist in the South China Sea South China Sea. So definitely you can imagine anybody having oil and natural gas reserves, it is going to make them rich, right? It is going to enhance their GDP, and ultimately not only that, so not only having the food security and growth in GDP because of the export of the seafood, apart from that we have huge oil and natural gas reserves in South China Sea existing, but apart from that there are a lot of mineral resources that exist, including the rare earth elements, which can be utilized in forming various technologies, modern technologies, and for the manufacturing of the various technologies and industries, right? So you can understand whoever can have the claim or part in the particular South China Sea, they are going to have very bright future economy wise, right? And that is why there is fight over the particular portion, right? See, first of all we need to understand, now coming to the next segment where we are understanding कि Southeast Asia dispute हो क्यों रहा है. First we need to understand that who started it, right? So see, it's obvious, I think everybody would know. Okay, so China is the one who has created this dispute, who has created this fuss, because see, all the countries, they were ready, they are still ready to follow the international laws that are there. ठीक है, तो देखो UN का है, international law है उनका of the seas, where they have said, okay, they have said जो international law of seas है, वो कहता है कि whatever be the territorial area you have, for example if Vietnam में this is the territorial area, from that end portion into the sea till 200 nautical mile, okay, till 200 nautical mile, whatever be the portion comes, that shall come under the region or in the territory of that particular country only. Okay, so from Vietnam and territorial means from the land till in the ocean till 200 nautical miles, whatever be the water body or whatever be the resources that comes in that particular water body, that will fall under the Vietnam country only, or that specific country only. ठीक है, so that is your international law of seas that says, ठीक है, and these zones are known as your exclusive economic zones. What does it mean? तो आपका land portion से whatever be the 200 nautical mile region it will be there, these are known as your ecological economic zones. Okay, and this is valid for all the countries. So this is an international law that we have. ठीक है, अब if you look at it, this the blue dash lines that you're looking at, ठीक है, तो these blue dash line it says, so for example now you're looking at that Vietnam का कहाँ तक का है. Vietnam कह रहा है कि as per this particular law, you can see that this particular till this bluish region it belongs to me. ठीक है, Malaysia का भी ये region है. ठीक है, then for Brunei, this is your Brunei over here, so Brunei saying this region belongs to me, means this area should be mine. Philippines is also claiming as per its area, and right, so it should be like that. But China is not following this rule. Why so? Because now I'll just remove it again. So I am erasing what the lines I have made. Okay, but now after removing mine, you can still see these red lines, right? These red lines. This is what the claim of China is. China follows 9-dash line. So basically what happened in 1935, China, they had modified their maps. They have come up with a map, and they have said that when Han dynasty was ruling China, during that time period, South China Sea was under their control. Okay, so technically and historically, South China Sea belongs to China. So what they did in 1935, they made their China's map and they put these dash. Now you're looking at this dash. Okay, they put the dash in the South China Sea and they said historically this belongs to China. Okay, initially when they did, there at that time there were 11 dash line. So I'll just go back for you to make understand. See, this particular region, this is Gulf of Tonkin. Okay, this is Gulf of Tonkin, and initially China had 11 dash line, and they included Gulf of Tonkin also under their territory only. Okay, China. But afterwards the friction started to happen between Vietnam and China, and later on in 1947 to 1949 time period, China, they dropped this Gulf of Tonkin from their map. So they dropped 2 dashes. Now how many are left? Only 9 are left. Okay, which is, as you can see in this particular picture also, which is highlighting the part of the South China Sea, right? You can see here clearly. So currently it is 9-dash line, and China is saying that historically this 9-dash line, it falls the area under this 9-dash line. And why this name 9-dash has been given? So the architecture who made this particular map, he made 9 lines. At that time 11 lines, currently that has been reduced to 9 dashes. So they just made 9 dashes or 11 dashes to depict the area. That is why it is known as 9-dash line. Okay, so China is saying historically this belongs to me, so nobody can enter. And if you are following our Telegram channel, you will see every week there is a news where China is harassing the fishermen of other countries who are founded in the South China Sea region, right? So I would recommend everybody, if you want to follow for such news, you can follow our Telegram channel as well, where we provide with all such news which can help you with your SSBs. ठीक है? So China claim करता है historically. ठीक है? Next coming to the Vietnam. अब Vietnam भी कुछ claim करता है. Vietnam claims as per the Geneva Accord of 1954. Okay, so what happened? See, initially जो Vietnam, Laos, the countries that exist, again I'll go back. Okay, so these countries, Laos हो गया, Cambodia, Vietnam, they were initially, they were the French colonies. Okay, they were the French colonies. After a while what happened, they start to have a dispute between, you know, the China and the upper region of Vietnam, which is like, which at that time was divided into like North Vietnam and South Vietnam initially when it got like this division. ठीक है, North Vietnam और South Vietnam का, तो एक friction start होने लगा, right? So their friction started to happen where the South Vietnam, it was backed up by the French military, and the upper portion, the North Vietnam, it was backed up by the Chinese military, and there was friction, and ultimately, you know, fight started to emerge. So now international intervene हुआ फिर. ठीक है, तो internationally the countries, the big powers, they intervene to have some agreement between both the parties. Okay, so at that time it was decided that there will be an imaginary line, 17-degree channel that will be made. So this is an imaginary line that was made between North and the South Vietnam. Okay, and it was said that whatever be the portion that is below 17-degree channel, the imaginary line that has been created, whatever be the below portion, be it your land or water portion, and or whatever comes under this water portion will come under the Vietnam territory. Okay, and whatever be the above will come to the North Vietnam and the China, means like North Vietnam. ठीक है, तो that particular this agreement that was signed, it is known as the Geneva Accord of 1954. Okay, so as per it, now if you look at it, as per the accord, the Paracel Island group of islands and the Spratly group of island, it should technically fall under the Vietnam region. Okay, so Vietnam is giving this particular reason that why Paracel and Spratly Island are under Vietnam territory. ठीक है, तो वियतनाम किसका आपको रीजन दे रहा है? द जेनेवा अकॉर्ड ऑफ 1954. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू द मलेशियाज रीजन. ठीक है, तो इफ अगेन आई वुड हैव टू go back. Okay, I hope it's not very confusing for all of you. Now if you look at where does Malaysia lie, so this is also green portion, this is also green portion, both are Malaysia. Okay, both are Malaysia. Now Malaysia is saying, see, technically this green portion, like on the left hand side I am in the globe, okay, and in the right hand side you can see Brunei is like a small part of Malaysia, but Malaysia you can see green portion, it's like expanded so much, right? So what the Malaysia is saying, देखो technically if I am on the left side and right side, so whatever the region that must come under this particular border, it should fall under me only, right? So Malaysia is giving the geographical claim that I am claiming this particular Spratly Island. Now if you look at it, this particular region, so some part of Spratly Island should fall under, the southern part of the Spratly Island should fall under the Malaysia's regime or territory. ठीक है, तो मलेशिया इज गिविंग द जोग्राफिकल रीजन. ठीक है, तो आई होप अभी तक क्लियर है. चाइना इज गिविंग द हिस्टोरिक रीजन एंड इट जस्ट ट्राइंग टू डोमिनेट ऑल द सेक्शन, राइट? वियतनाम इज गिविंग द जेनेवा ऑफ अकॉर्ड 1954 रीजन. मलेशिया इज गिविंग द जोग्राफिकल रीजन. एंड इंडोनेशिया, फिलीपींस एंड ब्रूनी, दे आर वेरी चिल. दे आर सेइंग दैट सी वी आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग द इंटरनेशनल लॉज दैट आर देयर. ठीक है, जो फॉर सीज दैट आर देयर, राइट, दैट एक्सक्लूसिव इकोनॉमिकल जोन्स आर देयर फॉर ऑल द कंट्रीज हु हैव वाटर बॉडीज in their nearby their land territory, and according to that till 200 nautical mile the places should be ours. ठीक है, तो ये इंडोनेशिया, फिलीपींस, ब्रूनी दे दिया इंटरनेशनल लॉ का हवाला. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे एक और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ है दैट आई वांट टू हाईलाइट. देखो, अब चाइना को जब ये बोला द कंट्री, ऑल द कंट्री, international government, they came and they talked about how the economical exclusive zone should be respected. So what China did, they artificially created island nearby the Paracel group of islands, right? And China said that okay, now as per the law this particular Paracel should come under me only because it is within the 200 nautical mile range, right? Now the international, then US specifically, they were enraged that how can you make artificial islands, right? So China lied and said that this island existed there only, it just water level has now gone down and that is why you can see the land, otherwise it has already been there. And what China has did now, all the military base they have set up over there, that artificial island which is very nearby to the Paracel Island, and they are monitoring everything, and in a way they are illegally they are dominating that particular area. ठीक है, but I hope now you have understood what is this dispute all about, and in fact why people are fighting, that we have already studied in the previous slide. Now talking about the global politics, why it is a global news, a global problem. It is so because if you look at the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development articles, and if you look at their website or their claim, they say that 1/3 of the global shipping, it passes through the South China Sea. 1/3 of the global shipping. So you can understand that if any country, and specifically if we talk about China, if they do their claim over the sea, this international trade will be disrupted. Okay, because we know how China they are, right? Chinese people they are. So international trade will get impacted a lot, and you can imagine if 1/3 of global shipping is happening over there, so you can think we are talking about trillions of trade, and definitely that is the reason why South China Sea, it is a significant geopolitical water body, right? Not only that, but if you look at the Department of as per the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Philippines, the sea, this particular sea has 1/3 of the entire world marine biodiversity, and it has a lot of species. ठीक है, 1/3 of your entire world marine biodiversity, it exists just in that South China Sea region. So you can imagine that if it is very important even for the food security of the Southeast Asia countries, but not only that, but for the whole countries export as well. ठीक है, so that is why another reason why the globally people are involved in this particular geographical politics, right? And this is one more data that shows that how much dependent even the US, Japan and South Korea for this region, because यहाँ से energy supplies जो होती है US, Japan, South Korea में, it is through this particular route only. ठीक है, estimated आपका USD means $3.4 trillion ship-borne commerce, it happens every year, each year from this particular sea. So that is why all our constantly monitoring what is happening in the South China Sea, right? Now what can be the way forward for it, right? It's not like that these countries have not tried, right? So every, you must have heard of ASEAN, right? So all every time ASEAN meeting whenever happens every year, this particular topic is raised, and in fact various times code of conduct has been, you know, tried to the ASEAN countries, they tried that this code of conduct is signed by all the countries and the people that are engaged in the South China geography, okay, and the disputes, so that the navigation can be done properly and freely by all the countries, right? So they came up with the regional code of conduct in South China Sea in 2002, but there were many flaws, and still in those flaws also China did not properly accepted this particular code of conduct. They signed a non obligatory document, okay, non obligatory document, where means it is was what it was just a kind of, you know, China that they are willing to put efforts but not be exactly, ठीक है? तो even though it came in 2002 but it was of no use. तो उसके बाद in 2007 again a framework of code of conduct was introduced among all the stakeholders that are there in this geopolitics, ठीक है? But still it was of no use, and then further in 2018 a single draft South China Sea code of conduct negotiating text was introduced by the ASEAN countries, so that anything can be done properly in regarding this matter, right? We have to have, again as I said, free navigation should be there, okay? And even though this 2018 draft is also flawed, why? Because there is these all the code of conduct that has come, none of them are legally binding, right? So definitely if anybody can sign, and even if they breach, no impact is going to happen on them, right? So that is why the way forward in this particular progress, I would say, it should be that whatever be the document come, okay, it should be legally binding, okay? Because when legally binding are there and there are consequences for breaking the rules, then only the coordination can happen properly, and especially when we are dealing with China, right? And I want to highlight one thing, that this single draft was introduced back in 2018, but still China is, you know, just every ASEAN meeting it just says that we are reviewing the draft. It has still not yet signed this, okay? So it is expected that in 2024 something would happen with this single draft code of conduct, right? But it is still expected, but it is something that should be legally binding, and then only we are going to look at some progress, right? So that was all in this particular video, okay? I have already created a document with all the right in the PDF form. I have whatever I have taught you, I have wrote it down so that you can read it afterwards. So this particular PDF you can get it from our Telegram channel, which is SSBtales, okay? So that is all in this video, and if you want me to cover any topic, do let me know, and all the very best for your preparation and for SSB. Thank you.